Hey there, it is Eva here from Women Blazing Trails. That's actually quite the tongue twister. Welcome to my channel. For those of you that are new to my channel, I share a lot of videos about motivation, travel. I do lots of travel videos. I do live in Guatemala. I share videos on anti-aging, health and wellness, some random how-tos. It's just a random fun channel. And while I do mostly do videos for women over 50, I've realized that a lot of men like to watch my channel too. So if you're a guy and you're here hanging out, then welcome back to my channel or welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about why I love living in Guatemala. Recently, I did a video, and I will drop the link to that either up here somewhere or down below. I did a video about the reasons why I hate living in Guatemala. There were only 6 reasons that I could think of, but today I want to share. I thought that I should really do a video about why I absolutely love living in Guatemala, because for me now this is home and this place is pure paradise. So I'm going to share some reasons with you about why I love living in Guatemala. I am originally from Canada. I moved from Canada, Northern Ontario, Canada, Sudbury, and I moved from Canada. This will be year 10, no, maybe 9 or 10. I think this is my 9th year here. I live in a tiny town called Panajachel, Guatemala. It has a population of about, last time I checked, I think the population was maybe 15,000, but it could be more now. We've had a lot of more expats, immigrants, foreigners move down here. So it could be, it's maybe in between 15 and 20,000 population. So it is a small town. I live on Lake Atitlan. There are 11 or 12 other villages, 11 other villages around the lake that you can get to by boat or by bus. The bus doesn't go to all of the villages, or you can drive to some of them. It will take you, I think, to one of the towns across the lake. It'll take you about 2.5 hours to drive there because it's quite the trek. So I live in Panajachel, which is probably the biggest town around the lake. It certainly has the most grocery stores, first world stores. I call them first world stores. So anyway, so that's where I live. And so let's just get down to some of the reasons why I love living here. First of all, actually, before we do that, so a lot of people say, oh, how did you end up in Guatemala? And a lot of people are very curious or interested to know how I ended up in Guatemala, why I chose Guatemala. So first of all, I didn't choose Guatemala. I had a tea leaf reader choose the country for me. When I was living in Canada, my last year in Canada, I knew that it was going to be my last year there, and I knew I was leaving. I just didn't know what country that I wanted to go to, and I knew I was going to Central America. I just didn't know where I wanted to go. So I enlisted the aid of a tea leaf reader, and she said, you need to go here. And I did a very, very little research on it. I booked a one-way ticket, packed 2 suitcases, and it's 9 or 10 years later, here I am. I'm still here, and this is home. So let's get to it. Reason number 1 why I'm living here in the town that I live in is that the climate is amazing. Like every day of the year, it's simply amazing. So we have a rainy season and we have a dry season. Right now we're in rainy season, and it started off like a lion, but it's slowed down a little bit. So how rainy season works is that generally in the mornings and in the early afternoons, it's sunny and warm. I'm going to say anywhere from 25 to 28 degrees Celsius. And then later in the afternoons, around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the clouds come in and then it rains for the rest of the evening into the wee hours of the morning. But rainy season has been a little bit different this year. We're in our canicula phase right now, which is a dry season in the rainy season, and it generally lasts 3 weeks, but this one's just been, it's over a month now, and it's still going on. So independent of rainy season, when we hit dry season, usually around January, February, it's a little cooler, it's really windy, and by, I'm going to say March or April, it's really, really dry, and we do have a lot of fires that start up in the mountains. So it's a little dry. It can get the air. I want to say sometimes it can get a little smoky, but I don't want you to think that we're like in a haze of smoke, because it's not really like that. So anyway, so the weather, let's get back. Number one, the weather is the number one reason why I love living here. It is beautiful. Well, it doesn't snow. Like it just doesn't snow. I mean, that's the bottom line. Weather is beautiful. And it's generally, I'm going to say 25-ish, 26-ish degrees Celsius every day of the year, So that's number one. Reason number two is affordability, because it certainly is very affordable to live here. Now, while the prices have been increasing a little bit year after year, because there are more expats that come down here, a lot more tourism is happening, so the prices are going up a little bit. When I first moved down here, the first house that I rented was a one-bedroom house in town, very lovely house, and that was 9 years ago. We'll just say 9 years ago. And that house was $250 a month US. And the house that I'm living in now, here it is 9 years later. I don't know what it is in US. It's about, I'm going to say about $350, $400 US. So the prices have gone up a little bit as far as housing has gone. The price of gas has doubled since I've been here, but it's still pretty affordable. The fruits and vegetables, going to the market, everything is just ridiculously affordable. Internet, like all your utilities, internet, hydro, water, everything like that. Like they're just, you can't beat it. You can live down here very, very comfortably if you find a nice, if you want like a little studio apartment, or maybe just a small little one-bedroom apartment, you can find that. You could probably live down here comfortably on $1,500. I'm going to say $1,200 to $1,500 a month comfortably. And that's not, going out for dinner once a week and, buying lots of stuff and partying all the time. But if you just want to live comfortably, just, modestly, you can do that for, I'm going to say $1,500 a month quite easily. So affordability is the second reason why I love living here. The third reason why I love living here is because it's absolutely freaking gorgeous. Where I live, because I do live on a lake, and on this lake we have 3 volcanoes and all the beautiful towns around the lake. And then we're literally surrounded by mountains. I mean, it's absolutely breathtaking. You can't, when you're driving through the mountains to get to the city, if you're going to the next town or wherever, it's just breathtaking beyond anything I can describe. I've never, well, I shouldn't say I've never seen such a beautiful place, because I've been to Peru, and Peru is pretty stunning. Peru is an absolutely gorgeous country, and parts of Mexico are also really, really gorgeous. So, but it's just so beautiful here. So that's a third reason why I love living here. The fourth reason why I love living here, and this is actually the number one reason that keeps me here in this town that I live in, is the people. I think Guatemalans are the most amazing people I've ever met in the world. And I've done my fair share of traveling. I think I've been to, and I'm sure there are other people who have traveled to way more countries than I have. I've been to about 10 or 12 different countries, and Guatemalans just blow them all out of the water. I love Guatemalan people. They're sweet, and they're innocent, and they're fun, and they're very curious, and they're very helpful, and they're very friendly. So when you're walking through the town, this is one of the things I love about the town that I live in, actually. When you're walking through the town in the morning, afternoon, whatever, everybody just says hi to you. Like, people say hi to you. If you go to a store, they'll talk to you. Where are you from? You know, what are you doing here? They just love, they're curious, and they just love to talk, and they love to get to know you. So the people here, I love the people here. That probably should have been reason number one as to why I love Guatemala. You Guatemalans, if there's any Guatemalans watching, I love you guys to the moon and back. And I'm going to go with we're just going to keep this to 5 reasons. So the last reason why I love living in Guatemala is because I find there's a different level of freedom here, and you almost have to be here and experience it to understand it, because it's hard to actually put in words. So we used to joke about how chaotic this town is, but it's like an organized chaos, and everything somehow just runs smoothly, and it's totally chaotic, but it's almost lawless. Like, there's no, which, I mean, there's good and there's bad to that being lawless. But it's law, and I hate to say lawless because obviously there's laws, but it's almost like there's a freedom here that you can't, it's like nobody cares what you wear, nobody cares what you do, nobody really cares about the music, nobody cares, people don't care how you drive, people don't really give a shit about anything like that. Everybody's just here for their own, and they just go about their business, and they don't really care about anything. The police never stop you, like, for like traffic violations or anything. Like, I've never seen that happen. Speeding, no license plate, there's none of that. Like, police just don't stop you for anything like that, which is very bizarre. So it's there's just a level of freedom here where you just feel like, so let's just, because I'm from Canada, so I'll just use Canada as an example. You have that stress of, there's always a stress or a tension of being there for, the rules and the laws and the regulations and all that. And there's always that in the back of your mind. It's not, you just don't have that here. There's nothing like that here. And if you can hear the dogs barking over there, I'm going to say sorry for that right now. I hope you can't hear them. Speaking of dogs, here's another reason why I love living here. And this is kind of different because there are an awful lot of street dogs, and I love dogs. So it's kind of sad because there are an awful lot of street dogs. And the situation is quite sad because there's no homes to adopt them out to. There's no shelters to take them in. There's no sanctuaries. There's nothing like that. So they're just helpless and on the road. But on the flip side of that, if you can handle that, on the flip side of that, no matter where you go, there's always a dog to pet, which is great. And I always carry like dog food in my backpack and in my scooter. I always have a bag of dog food to feed the street dogs. And some of them, and it's funny, actually, the other day, this was quite hilarious. The other day I was stopped at a red light, and one of the street dogs recognized me and literally just came over to my scooter and put his little paws on my little landing pad on my scooter, and he was waiting for me to like get off my scooter and feed him. So I was at a red light, so I very well couldn't just park my bike right there. And he just got on my scooter and waited for me to give him food because it was just so cute. So I came around the corner. When the light turned green, I turned down the corner and he followed me, and I did give him some food. But I love that. If you're ever feeling sad or if you're like depressed, you just go out for a walk and you'll find a dog and just go sit down beside a dog and pet a dog, and it's great. So anyway, those are some of the reasons why I absolutely love Guatemala. I think it's a very beautiful country. I think the people are amazing. It doesn't come without its challenges. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. I am not fluent in Spanish, so I have still a little bit of a language barrier, which gets quite frustrating. Like at the bank today, that was a whole clusterfuck of miscommunication that happened. And I just said, thank you, have a nice day. And I just left because she couldn't help me. And anyway, so there are challenges. of living here, especially if you're not bilingual or fluent in Spanish. You know, and it is loud. It can be dirty sometimes. It can be really, really loud sometimes when the festivals start, Christmas, New Year's, Easter, the ferias. They have random pop-up parades. And so it is noisy, but the noise doesn't even bother me anymore. You just get so used to it. It's like when it's quiet. So here's the funny thing. It's like when it's quiet, you're like, what's going on? Like, why aren't the dogs barking? Like, why don't I hear traffic? Like, why is it so quiet? Like, you think like there's something wrong. Like, that's how noisy it is. But I don't mind it. So if you're thinking about coming to Guatemala, even just for a little visit, I highly recommend it. There are lots of other places in Guatemala that are just as beautiful. Antigua is beautiful. There's places far north, Flores, Livingston. If you want to live by the ocean, I do not live by the ocean. The ocean is 5 hours away from me, driving about 4 or 5 hours away from me. So if you want hotter climates, there's beautiful towns that have the warmer climates. But definitely, if you're thinking about traveling and you're not sure where to go, put Guatemala on your list. It truly is a beautiful country, very affordable, and the people are absolutely amazing. So anyway, that's all I got for you for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to drop a bunch of links down below. Please do check them out. I'll leave a link to an article that I wrote on my website about Panajachel, Guatemala, and a couple other articles. So please do click on the links. It helps support my website business as well. And don't forget, please, to like, share, and comment and subscribe. That also helps trigger the YouTube algorithm, so more people will see my video and more people will see my channel, and then more people can come and join us over here on Women Blazing Trails. That's all I got for you now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will catch y'all back here. Oh, I should say that I do upload videos generally every Sunday. I do my best to upload new videos every Sunday, so hit the notification bell as well, so you'll know, you'll get notified next time I do upload a new video. I will catch y'all back here on the next video. Bye for now.